Good morning, students. Today we will go with an previous topic we discussed in the module 1 called as an introduction to cloud computing, and also we discussed about an virtualization, and we also discussed what is mean by virtualization, how it has can be processed, and all those things. Today I am going to take up the last final or the conclusion of in a module 1 called as a virtualization, or in a summary of a virtualization, or an overview of a virtualization. Now virtualization is used to improve the IT throughput and the cost by using the physical resources. As I was keep on telling you also, whenever I say virtualization, majorly you have to imagine the physical resources has been utilized virtually. I can say I am sitting in this college, and I think you are sitting in your location. Your hardware or your physical resources components, I can use it virtually through an internet or through a cloud. So this is called as a virtualization. A pool, a physical resources, physical resources can be utilized virtually. This is about the concept. Clear? Now we will go on to the things. So how I can convert them into virtually. After converting, how I can process them into a virtually. Now this is called as a virtualization architecture. In the virtualization architecture, always remember there is an interfacing. A physical hardwares or the equipments what all available in the layer infrastructure as a service. Those devices has to be interfaced within a VMware. Now why I am using such that if I incorporate the physical box like in a virtual machine, and I make a virtual machine where, and I can you apply some of the platform like in a Zen or even KVM or a VM. So then what will happen, the operating system will interfaces with these physical resources, and then I can extract the physical resources. So this to interface the physical resources and to utilize the physical resources virtually, the middle interface is called as a virtualization. So this is called as in a virtualization architecture, a virtualization machine called as a VM. It is always isolated runtime environment, just like it may be like an OS operating system, or a guest like an application. The multiple virtual machines can run on a single physical system. So this is about the infrastructure. Now we will move on to the last topic called as a hypervisor. Yes, I told you hypervisor is one which can be categorized as a hardware level virtualization. So there are a n number of type 1, type 2 hypervisors are there. So now you remember it is in a hardware level virtualization. When I want to convert the hardware devices into virtualization, what will happen in the type 1 hypervisor? What is mean by a type 1? How it can be interfaced and how it can be extracted? What is going to happen in the type 2? How it has been interfaced, how it has been processed, and how I can access it them virtually. So this is called as a hypervisor. Hypervisor can be act like a guest of an operating system, appears as like a processor. I can access the processor, I can access the memory, and other physical resources itself I can access. Hypervisor is actually controlling the host processor and the resources, allocating what is needed to each operating system in turn, and making sure that the guest operating system can be disrupted, we can be set without any disruptions. Without any interruptions, we can send it the data. So that is called as a hypervisor. Now what is the advantages? Advantages is very simple. I can just I don't want to say, you can see it is a portability, hardware independence, encapsulations, isolations, and sharing the resources with a very less cost. So that is the important. You encapsulate it, you have hardwares are now independent, it is a portable, it is isolated, and also I can share with a very less cost. That is a major advantages or the benefits of virtualization. Now what is the interface between virtualization and now cloud? Now as of now, till now we discussed about the hardware devices, we discussed about the hardware level virtualization, we discussed about the type 1 virtualization, and we discussed about the type 2 hypervisors. Now we discussed about the benefits of virtualization. Now we are going to study now the interface between the virtualization and the cloud computing. and the cloud computing. So the cloud computing takes in a virtualization one step ahead, that is by choosing the operating system and can instantiate more virtual servers and existing one within a minutes. So what I want to say, you can get billed only for what you used. So from the first of the class, day one of the class, I am telling a cloud is a one. If I am going to use how much you have used, for what purpose you have used, only you pay for that. So that is called as an only pay what you used. So that is called as a completely the cost reductions process. It is a completely a cost reduction process. So these are the some of the interfaces between a virtualization and about a cloud computing. Yeah. Now, what is mean by a trusted computing base, a TCB of a virtual machine? A TCB is a nothing but the name itself says a trusted one with an authentication, with an authorization. Person can only access the information. Suppose I was keep on telling, there is a in some other regions the hardwares are there, softwares are available. I am going to use it virtually. Now I may going to take the completely the confidential informations, a confidential information, I can access it and I can corrupt the society, or I can hack the strength of the nation or the important information, and I am going to misuse the data. Now to avoid such a things, to misuse the data, there is an encryptions, there is an hypervisors, or there is an authentication process, security. All these things will come into a picture. So that is called as an here the trusted computing base, that is a TCB of a virtual machine. Now TCB is nothing but a small amount of software and hardware that security depends on what and that we distinguish from a much larger amount that can misbehave without affecting the security. So here it is in a very nomenclature, a small software which can be interfaced with your either a hardware device or a software. So whenever I am going to access this, along with that the security or authentication process will be going to incorporate such that the secured data is being delivered efficiently and on time. So this is called as a TCB process. Yeah. Now we are going to take up a Xen virtualization architecture. It is Xen, always you remember, it is one of the architecture majorly we are using in the Amazon or EC2 we can say. But however we can also study in the next classes how the Aneka cloud computing came into picture. Now as of now, knowledge you keep what is mean by generally the architecture of an model. Now here you can find it, there is an innermost layer like I said, no, memory or a physical resource or Ethernet or a SE card or a hardware device. All this comes under the IaaS. Now the second layer you can see in the diagram, there is a Xen. Xen is one of the platform which can interact with the hardware devices. For example, it may be in a virtual 8086 CPU or a virtual physical memory or a virtual network or a virtual block devices or a domain based control interfaces. These are all called as a virtual. So this is called as an Xen. Now based on that, your OS you will be taken care. Your OS or a software can be taken care. So in this diagram you can learn it is an IaaS which talks about the hardware, and there is a platform called as a Xen platform, and then there is a software. So what is the malicious functions can happen over there? That is about the device drivers or about the malicious administration or a TCB. So these are all some of the authentication, a secure data we are going to transfer from one node to another node. Clear? So Xen virtualization architecture and the thread model means always remember there are some physical hardware resources to extract them like in a virtually, to use them in a virtually, and we have to extract in a secured data such that during a processing or the interruption may happen and somebody can hike your data. Such things can be avoided. Understand? Such things can be avoided and secure data can be processed. Yeah. Now this is about the security requirements. Scenario says that a client uses the services of a cloud computing company to build a remote virtual machine. To build a remote virtual machine, I need a network with an interfaces with a network, secondary storage device and runtime environment which can build the virtualization, which can save the data, which can restore the data, and also we can destroy the data whenever there is not when there is no requirement. So this is called as a virtualization security requirement process. How I am going to build the virtualization. So not only that, there are